just going to do a little screen recording. I got a lot of requests on how I make my flyers whenever I'm running a sale or anything like that. Whenever I don't feel like making them myself, I do go on Etsy and purchase them. Etsy has a lot of stuff available for those of you who, want to cut on time and stuff like that. But whenever I feel like I want to do it myself, or I have something very specific in mind that I want to do that I can't specifically find, I'll just do it myself. And my favorite app to use is Canva. I feel like if you are a business owner and do not already have Canva, that it's something you definitely need to do. But I'm just gonna jump into the little mini tutorial, whatever you want to call it, and yeah. So I'm gonna start by going on Canva. And as you can see, I was kind of like playing around with one of the designs on this one, first one right here, but I'm just going to start a new one so you guys can see me from scratch. So I'm going to Instagram posts, and then I'm going to start on a blank one. I have Canva Pro, but if you want to use, they have a lot of things for free, like a lot of these things. This is like the Pro one. So if it has the little crown by it, then it's obviously you have to have the Pro to have it. But as you can see, they have a lot of things that are for free that, are pretty good. So even if you don't want to pay for it, I definitely think that Canva is a good app to use. But I'm not going to use any of their personal things already. I might start a new one and just jump into it. I'm just going to show you guys around on Canva. If I want to add something else, I would just go here to the elements, things like that. And I can see everything that I want to use. QR codes. You can input charts. I have specific things. These are some templates that I had bought off Etsy. And yeah, just little other designs that I made on here. So yeah, I'm gonna start a new video and jump into it. And I'm just on an Instagram size sheet, and I'm just going to get to working. So for this one, I'm doing like a March Madness type of theme. So I'm going to try to stick with the greens and things like that. So that's the kind of thing, a lucky type of theme that I'm going for. So I want my background color to be maybe like a green. I'm going to leave this for right now. I might go in and tweak it a little bit more once I start adding some more stuff. But for right now, I'm just going to like play around until I figure out what exactly I want to do. So I'm just going to speed up this little time until I kind of figure out the direction I'm going in. So I'm just getting it bigger till it covers the amount of the page that I want it to. And I think this is pretty good. And then, so this is a frame. So whenever you go into the frame section, anything that has like this, you can put a picture instead of the little clouds or whatever they have right there. So they have some book mock-ups, some iPhones, different Polaroids, things like that. They even have letters if you want to put like glitter inside of a letter and work it that way. but that's kind of time consuming and I'm not going to do all that. So for this, I'm going to put in some glitter and then overlap another one of these on there. So I'm going to go under elements and search silver glitter. And then I'm going to go, let's try this glitter and pop it right there. And I don't know how I feel about silver on green. I might try gold. Because even though gold isn't my brand color, I think I'm going to go in with it just because. And whenever I want to have like a little strip or something to block off it, I just double lap it. So now I have a little band or a strip in between the page, and I can put this however I want. But by overlapping it, I can just make it as thick or as thin as I want. Super simple. So I think I'm going to add my shapes first. Kind of get the little gist of the shapes I'm going to be adding, and then I'll come back again. I want to apologize in advance if I'm not explaining everything correctly. I'm not a graphic designer. I do makeup. So this is not my expertise, but hopefully you guys can understand what I'm doing by watching the video. So yeah. So I just moved that money backwards so it's not on the top part, and then I'm going to lower the transparency so it's really just in the background like that. Yep, just like that. I think that's a good amount of transparency so you can still see it. I'm going to move it over a little bit so you can see the money all over the top. And then I'm also going to add in a makeup picture. Let me go to my favorites. And let's put in, one of my specials will be on Natural Glam. So I think I want to add let's add a picture like this for right now. And then once it loads, I'm going to go to effects. And you have to have the Pro in order to do this, but I'm going to remove the background on it. And I might take a screenshot from a video just so I can really get the angle of her face that I want, because I don't want it to be head on. And if you go right over where you have this frame at, even though we changed the color, the picture will go on it. So even if we put it on this gold part, the picture that's inside of that will change. So make sure if you're on your phone to be really careful and mindful of that. I'm going to move this to the back just so I don't have to worry about that as much. So I'm going to go to position and then press backwards. Sorry, in back. Okay. And let me make it a little bit smaller. And I'm gonna just leave that right there for right now, just for placement. I'm most likely 9 times out of 10 gonna change that picture, but just for placement purposes, I'm just gonna leave that right there for right now. And I'll probably I'm just gonna move this so you guys know what I'm talking about. But in this area, have her, not her, but have my title of the flyer and whatnot right there. And then, yeah, so just for placement purposes, I'll leave that. So I'm going to add a couple more things and then I'll come back and explain a little bit more. So because I have the 2 shapes that I want to do, but I just want to move some stuff around, instead of trying to fiddle with it, I'm going to select multiple so then I can group them together. And then now when I move it, these 2 items move together instead of separately. I don't want those to go. So I'm going to move this to the middle. And then I'm going to move this to this side. And I'm just trying to play around with it until I get it exactly how I want. And I'm going to group this one together as well. And go to group. And then I'm going to move it up a little, just like that. And I'm going to see how it looks once I put a couple of things in here. I feel like this is a little too thin. This but I don't know how else I would get it to work unless it's that thin. So I'll play around with some wording and stuff like that and see how it looks before I finalize it and whatnot. So I'm going to add in some words and see how it's looking from there. This but I don't know how else I would get it to work unless it's that thin. So I'll play around with some wording and stuff like that and see how it looks before I finalize it and whatnot. So I'm going to add in some words and see how it's looking from there. Is it just me, or Wednesday is always hard as fuck to spell? Okay, because I would die without autocorrect. Certain words just shouldn't be words. Like, they was just making up stuff, literally. But for this, I'm gonna be doing walk-in Wednesdays, and then I'll do $70 natural glam. Okay, and then I'm gonna put that in the middle. And I really want to make sure that this is centered, so I'm gonna bring this outer portion in so that it's centering it the right way. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so this is like the general thing I'm going with. I have my special for my new clients, my special for my returning clients, and then my overall special throughout the month. And then I'll put in the code that they would have to enter for the thing in there. Let's use this font, so I'm going to duplicate that. And then I'm going to make it much smaller. And edit. We're going to put the code, which is newbie, and make it a little bit smaller. Put it right in the middle. I'm gonna scooch it over just a little bit, so when you're on your phone you can only move it so much. So I'm going to use the nudge feature and move it until it's centered perfectly, or as perfect as it's going to get. And that's one. I'm gonna duplicate it because we're not gonna be doing extra work going through all that. I'm just going to duplicate it and change the code. And this code is loyal, so we're gonna put loyal right there. And I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, just like that. That's actually the perfect size. And I'm gonna nudge it. And then I'm gonna duplicate this, and on the bottom portion I'm going to put in my booking information. We're going to put book online, and I'm going to put my booking link. I'm just gonna show you guys me finishing up. I'm not going to do so much more voiceover. I'm just gonna let you guys see what I'm doing. I feel like that's a little bit better. So yeah. So this is the final flyer. If you guys want to see more tutorials like this, just let me know. Thank you guys for watching if you watched it this far, and I'll see you guys next time.